government have making sure that the kids are in good conditions. So that's taking time. So there's not enough room at the facilities. The facilities are getting overcrowded. There's not enough staff to just literally call the relatives and find good placement for the children. So it's a fucking mess, right? But it's also like it's a mess, but also it's like the Biden administration has been here 6 weeks. The Trump administration completely dismantled the entire asylum system. They left them a fucking disaster at the border. So literally, it's just about the Biden administration building facilities as fast as they can, improving the conditions as fast as they can, hiring people to both place the children and to look at the asylum applications and process the asylum applications because there's a backlog a mile long.
Well, and that's the thing is that's what's so, as usual, disingenuous about how it's being covered is that we are where we are now because the Trump administration did everything they could to tear apart every ounce of infrastructure there was to deal with the problem. Something that has really been a fucking bee in my bonnet for a long time was one of a very important piece of this puzzle is the Office of Refugee Resettlement. Mm-hmm. And during the Trump administration, do you know who ran the Office of Refugee Resettlement? He's a fuck that guy named Scott Lloyd, whose qualification for the job was having worked at the Knights of Columbus before he got it, and use this position where you should be resettling refugees, so many of whom are children, to enforce his anti-abortion. He had a journal of tracking women's periods. He's a fucking lunatic.
Terrible.
So here we are now. Even that organization that's meant to deal with this problem was literally razed. It was burned to the ground. And so now Joe Biden has put in Cindy Huang, who is she came from Refugees International, right? So the thing that everybody has to understand is that, yes, it's bad and the images on television are terrible, but they are moving as fast as humanly possible to try to, they have FEMA down there now. They have HHS employees down at the border helping to register people faster to help with intake, and FEMA is literally treating this like a crisis. Mind you, FEMA, the money Donald Trump robbed from FEMA to buy his wall, and now FEMA is here solving the problem. So,
yeah, and look, none of this is to excuse the Biden administration or excuse the Obama administration when it was us too. It's just that, I think because Trump was such a fucking monster on immigration, it obscured the fact that even if he wasn't a monster, he would have had to deal with some pretty intractable challenges at the border that would have been hard for any president, even of good intentions, to deal with. And that is actually exactly what we're seeing right now. A president who has good intentions, an administration who has good intentions, still having a real hard time because we have a fucking broken immigration system that's messed up. So Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, he finally confirmed, and he talked about sort of what we can do about this, what the administration wants to do about this long term. Right now, it's just sort of solving the problem. It's triage, right? So you want to invest in Central American countries and create new pathways for people to apply from afar. So this is a big one. So we want to let a lot of these young people know who are coming here, or families, if you want to apply for asylum in America, that's great. Don't make the dangerous trek through Mexico to America. Apply for asylum in your home country. That, again, is a big process. It takes a lot of work to send that message, to make sure they get that message. That they have access to doing that, but that takes a long. Speeding up processing so asylum claimants aren't left just roaming around the country, and kids could get transferred to guardians faster. So you just need more staff, just something very basic. You need more staff. So that's the path out of this, but all of that takes time. And the other big challenge for Biden and why they don't have time is because there's a political challenge here.
Right.
Here's House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy at an event on the border with a bunch of his Republican goons.
We asked him, which countries are people coming from? Yemen, Iran,